What's up, guys? Manel Kape versus Azu Almabayev. This is the full card predictions. Let's get right into it. Montana De La Rosa, 13-9-1 versus Luana Carolina, 11-4. Montana coming in at plus 125, Luana minus 150. It's crazy to say it, but I mean, I think the awkward, more effective striker is Luana Carolina. I think she's going to win a decision. I don't think it's going to be pretty to watch. It's going to be awkward as hell to watch, but I think she's the better striker, and I don't think there's going to be that much of a ground fight here. What do you think?
Yeah, she's a longer, taller girl. She's a lankier striker, and she sports a pretty good takedown defense. It's like 70%. And all those fights where we think she's going to get taken down, she's shown pretty good takedown defense lately. De La Rosa, she's pretty. She has good wrestling, but like I just don't think, like I said, judges don't reward wrestling, just wrestling anymore. You got to mix it up a little bit, and she just doesn't mix it up. And I think Carolina has good enough get-up game and a good enough striking match to, keep this at base. So yeah, Carolina, definitely a decision, though. I don't see her finishing Del Rosa.
I agree. All right, next fight of the night. This is one of the better fights. I'm surprised it's the second fight. We got Charles Johnson, 17-6, versus Ramazan Tamirov, however you want to say it, 18-2. Ramazan coming in as a highly touted striker. It should be a fun fight. Charles Johnson, he seems to kind of excel, should I say, against striker? I mean, I shouldn't say excel, but it seems like he beats these prospects on the feet that maybe he shouldn't. Like he's a very durable guy. He is a very good athlete. He it seems like he loses when he gets grapple fucked, to be honest. And Ramazan is not going to be a guy known to hug him. So I mean, like this is a fight that Charles can win for sure. This is a fight that Ramazan can win for sure. I mean, on paper, you almost got to favor Ramazan as the striker, but it's hard to do it because who has he fought and who has he done it against? And Charles just kind of thrives in this spot. He makes every fight close. This fight just seems like a very tricky fight to predict. Seems like a fight I don't think I'd want to put money on. I like Charles Johnson every time he's an underdog. I don't know if I love Charles Johnson when he's a favorite. He's the guy that's going to make every fight. Doesn't matter who he fights. It's gonna kind of be close. So I think this fight goes the distance, and I think you're looking at a decision. I don't know that I'd want to throw money on it. I like all the overs. What do you think?
I like all the overs to an extent, though. Like just because Charles Johnson's pretty durable, but Temirov there, buddy hits with some fucking heat, bud. So honestly, like striking is pretty even. To be honest with you, they're both semi-technical in the sense that they don't throw big looping shots all the time. Um, Temirov has the power advantage, and I think that's the thing here, right? So what I really foresee is like along with that takedown thing, the judges haven't been awarding volume as much recently either, man. So like, I mean, Charles Johnson can hit him with volume, but the 1-2 from Temirov comes back and looks just aesthetically more pleasing. And what do you know, right? So fight's close. Charles Johnson's a freaking favorite. I don't know. Charles Johnson is a favorite. Doesn't really cut me down too much. Tamarov at plus 100. I'm gonna lean that way because I think the more powerful shots are gonna come from Tamarov and they'll just look better. You know, he has
Yeah,
he has a chance of finishing. Charles Johnson probably won't finish Tamarov at all. So
no, but Johnson is insanely tough though. Like he's shown crazy durability.
yeah, for
Like I
sure.
said, I like Johnson at dog odds. I do not like him at favorite odds, and I think it'll get interesting late in the fight. Like
Yeah.
I expect Charles to be losing, and it'll be a question of whether this guy holds up for three full rounds, whether it's cardio, how he looks in the third round. But yeah, I mean, I like the dog at these odds.
hmm
All right, next fight of the night, we got Andrea Lee, 13-10, JJ Aldrich, 13-7. To be honest, I'm kind of sick of watching both of these fighters. I believe that this should be a loser leaves town. So many times I've had faith in Andrea Lee, and she's let me down. Like her striking's terrible, her volume's terrible. I actually think she can be a decent grappler, but she just doesn't use it when she should, and she just I don't know, just the IQ, everything. Like everything is just leaves a lot to be desired. And I always rip on JJ Aldrich. So I mean, if you asked me this fight a few fights ago, I'd be taking Andrea Lee 100%, especially at dog odds plus 170. but the IQ, the low volume, not knowing, I don't know what she's gonna do. I expect this to look like a very low level fight, and honestly, it's got to be a loser leaves town for me. Like losers got to be done. I'm not putting my money on either of these women. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm not putting my money on either of these women either, but odds are off. I mean, plus 170 for Andrea Lee, but I can't trust her. You can't trust her. You can't trust either one of these girls. You can't trust them, either one of them. JJ is supposed to be a striker slash, pretty good takedown. She took down Aaron Blanchfield twice. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think JJ is more well-rounded, to be honest with you, because she actually uses a ground game once in a while, and Andrea Lee has very suspect takedown defense. But like, is JJ really a good striker? Because against Veronica Hardy, was she just like trying to jump in and then getting fucking countered, jump in, kind of get countered, you know what I mean? So what's to say that doesn't happen this time too, right? Like, and that was a very low level fight in the last one she did, and was I think the striking was something in the 30s to somewhere in the 20s, right? Can you can't expect something like that? I don't know, but Andrea Lee, she definitely throws a lot more volume than fucking 30 strikes. So I don't know, man. And don't quote me, I think Andrea Lee is probably the side to bet on, but if you're betting on this, you probably should call 1-800 Gamblers Anonymous because like, yo,
That's
man, both these girls suck. I just think Andrea Lee's just like matches up numbers wise a little bit better in this case, but like fuck me if I'm gonna like bet on this.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of fights here that it's dog or pass, and it's not that you would necessarily be picking that dog to win, but just because of odds, like the bet has to be on a certain side, like
I don't
that's
trust JJ Aldrich at minus two fucking hundred, I tell you that much.
shouldn't
But
be minus 200 against anybody,
yeah.
100%. Next fight of the night, we got Lucas Almeida, 15-3, taking on Danny Silva, 9-1. We've got what are the odds here? Danny Silva minus 200, Lucas Almeida plus 170. This should be a fun fight of two guys that nobody really knows, like or nobody really cares about, no whatever. But these two guys will throw down. They should strike. Danny Silva I guess, is proven to be a bit more consistent because Lucas Almeida, at his best, is a good fighter. He definitely hits hard. He can knock you out. He can strike. He can punch. But then some fights, he's just kind of trigger happy and like he's just too inconsistent. So this is another fight where I just do not want to put my money down. Like I said, Lucas Almeida has power. He can knock Danny Silva out. He can, but he's just not trustable. I can't trust him to. So I do agree, I guess, with the odds. But better spots to put your money. Danny Silva in a fun little striking match here. What do you think?
They're both supposed to be strikers, but Danny Silva, at least I feel like, is the more well-rounded fighter in general, right? So I've seen Danny Silva put up 200 strikes in a Dana White Contender Series, but then I've seen Danny Silva go head-to-head with Josh Cooleybow and start losing the striking battle and then take a guy down 4 times in a fight, right? That's not something Lucas Almeida can do. That's not something in his repertoire.
And Almeida has terrible get up game.
And he has terrible getup game and he has suspect takedown defense, right? So I feel like it's going to start striking, but once Danny Silva feels that this is too close or he's getting hit too much, he's going to take it down to the ground. And when he gets it down to the ground, the problem is, yeah, judges don't award takedowns, blah 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 blah, but he's not going to be getting up. And Danny Silva, for all his faults, he stays pretty busy on the ground. To be honest with you, right? So if Danny Silva hadn't taken down his opponent 4 times last fight and the one previous to that 2 times, then I would say that he could probably he gets hit a lot more harder. He gets hit a lot more than he dishes out, like by the numbers. And it's true. It's a true fact. But he's well rounded and taking down Lucas Almeida is the way to victory. So I'll say that Danny Silva wins. I don't like minus 200, 100. Like, I don't really like minus 200, to be honest with you. But Danny Silva by decision is what I say. No knockout coming here.
All right. Next fight of the night. Douglas Silva de Andrade, 29-6 versus John Sexy Mexi Castaneda, 21-7. For me, when I look at these odds, they seem off. Like Douglas is a pretty well-rounded veteran. He's been around. Yes, he's old. 100% he's old, but he's a pretty fucking well-rounded fighter. He's put up some decent performances. Plus 225 on him versus minus 275 on Castaneda. I don't like John Castaneda. I'm not a fan. I think he's going to try and smother him, use the youth, use the wrestling, and yeah, that might work. But dare I say, Douglas is a more dangerous guy. Like I'm going to be rooting for Douglas Silva here, and at these odds, again, I don't. I find myself betting every fight on a pay per view just because it's such a big event. You're hyped up, you're betting every single fight. But on a fight night card, I'm picking my spots. For me, this would be dog or pass. I wouldn't force myself to bet this fight. I get it. Castaneda will probably blanket him. I get it. Or just have too much energy, too strong, too youth, whatever, too young, the pace, blah, 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 blah. But I think the odds are wide. I think Douglas Silva is a pretty well-rounded fighter. And I think for Castaneda to win, it's a decision. I think he just kind of blankets him. What do you think?
I think about the same thing. Like Andrade, like he sports a pretty decent takedown defense, 72%. Castaneda can throw volume, and his striking is not bad. I give Andrade the power edge in this for sure, right? But the problem with Andrade and why I'm not going to bet this fight, and why because I think it is if you're going to go on it like dogs where the odds are, it's just that Andrade just doesn't throw enough, right? Like I've never seen him really throw enough volume to make it worthwhile to put money on him, right? And then Castaneda, like fairly durable at best. And like, he has been stopped. I'm not saying that he's just like this rock or anything like that. But it like took like a knee from Daniel Santos to stop him. And, you know, other than that, he's proven pretty durable. And honestly, man, like he's beaten guys like Gafurov. He's thrown volume like 100 strikes in 3 rounds. He's taking guys down. I feel like he'll get a takedown in this fight. I don't feel like he's gonna blanket him on the ground because I think Andrade is a good enough veteran that he would get up and stuff. It's the volume that really kills me. It's the volume. So I'm gonna lean slightly with Castaneda in this, but like I don't like the bet, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, man. I mean, I just wish Douglas threw a little bit more because then I could bet on him.
Next fight of the night, Ricardo Ramos, 17-6 versus Chepe Jose Mariscal, 17-6. I'm a big Mariscal fan. Like not from like I love the guy's fighting style or I love the guy, but this guy just makes me money. He wins all the time. I bet on him as an underdog, he wins. I bet on him when he should win, he wins. He's consistent in what he does. He's durable, he's well-rounded. If he's getting a little sloppy on the feet, he can take the punch and still come back. He's going to eventually clinch. He's going to eventually grapple. He's gonna do his thing. And Ricardo Ramos, he's just looking for an opportunity to finish the fight. And I don't think Mariscal is someone who's going to get caught and get finished. So for me, it's a fairly straight up Mariscal win. But I didn't even realize minus 500. That's crazy. Like that just sucks. So that just sucked the wind out from my sails there because I didn't realize he was such a big favorite. But yeah, for me, it's pretty straightforward. I think Mariscal gets it done. What do you think?
I think Mariscal's the pressure guy here. He's going to pressure the shit out of him. I think he's the better striker here, unless Ricardo Ramos is going to pull out the old spinning back fucking elbow out of his mega tricks. Let's put it this way. I think he was lucky to even win that fight against Josh Cooleybow in the last one. I was struck 70 to like 25, and just because of two well-timed takedowns, he scraped a second round and another round. So whatever. I really don't think he won that last fight, to be honest with you. So minus 500 sucks. Do we think Chepe finishes this fight? That's the thing, right? Because he's going to be pressuring him all day long.
You
Ramos
could
does
sub
get
him.
his. Pardon me?
You could sub him, maybe. No,
Yeah, well, I've seen Ramos get subbed by what was it, Charles Jourdain, I think it was. Like, yeah, guillotine choked twice by Rosa and Charles Jourdain. So he can definitely fucking get subbed. And guillotine is right up Mariscal's alley, so I don't know. I don't know. I think you got to pick between the finish and the decision. Ramos has proven not to be that durable of a guy, so I'll go with the finish. I'm not sure which one, but at least take inside the distance because minus 500 is dirt, right? So, but Mariscal wins, man. I feel like he's just gonna pressure the shit out of this guy, and you know what? Ramos goes nuts when he gets pressured up there. He just doesn't know how to handle it properly, especially when he can't take a guy down. Or if Chepe gets taken down, does he even care about being on the ground against this guy? Or does he
no.
pull guillotine on him? Because Ramos has shown that he can lose to a gilly too, right? So
I think he subs him.
I think he subs him too, actually.
All right, next fight of the night. This is actually the only guy on the card I don't know. We got Austin Lane 13-5, Mario Pinto or Pinto 9-0. I've had a very busy week, so this is the only fight I didn't get to check out. I didn't get to check this guy out, but I see a lot of people picking Austin Lane, which surprises me because generally speaking, you're gonna bet against him when he's fighting a power striker, and that on paper appears to be what Mario is. But like I said, I will always be honest. I haven't watched the tape here, so I can't say. But it's just strange that I've been reading that Austin Lane might be the value bet here against a power puncher, which is generally his kryptonite. Haven't done my research. What have you seen?
I don't think it's like one punch power. It's more of like a collective punches of power sort of thing. So I don't see Austin. I could see where people are coming along with Austin Lane has that chance at wrestling this guy. But I've seen pretty good get out game. I've seen some good volume. I've seen good power. I haven't seen great power though. Like it's good power though. Don't get me wrong. And it's because he is like pretty pinpoint with his shots. Listen, man, I'm done betting on debutantes, right? I'm done. I think this Pinto guy looks pretty good on tape. I think he's probably better than Austin Lane. I don't know if he might be better at Austin Lane in his first fight in the UFC, better than Austin Lane, right? So I'm just not ready to put money for minus 450 on a debutante who looks pretty good on tape. Don't get me wrong, Austin Lane's fucking striking is trash compared to this guy. But he does have it all power of a football player. He has a takedown. He could take him down. He could blanket him. He could. I'm not saying this guy, no one's ever done it, but like he could. He could definitely do it. But again, man, my point is I'm not minus 450ing a debutante. I think he wins this fight because I have zero confidence in Austin Lane. But yeah, I'm not laying the fight as 450 because I've had too much bad luck with these debutantes, bud. And I'm just that it's one of my new rules. It's just keep fucking debutantes off my tickets from now on.
If Lane gets knocked out here again, I think it's over for him here.
Yeah,
But
well, yeah, for sure, buddy. Like
all
forget
right, guys, moving on to the main card. If you haven't already, please like, please subscribe. We do appreciate it. This should be a fun fight. Opening up the main card, we got Danny Barlow, 9-0, hot prospect, has all the attributes to be a star in the making. Like he can be flashy, he can knock you the fuck out. Sometimes he disappoints or he might be a little too cocky, whatever. But regardless, he is a guy to keep your eye on. He can be a fun fighter. Taking on Sam Patterson, 12-2-1. This guy's best known for getting flattened by Ashmus in that very quick fight and then rebounding and showing some fantastic grappling skills. So this is an absolute style or clash of style story. You got Danny Barlow who can absolutely knock Sam Patterson out fast, and you got Sam Patterson who I guess you could say he has a path to victory if he can get this fight to the ground very quickly. He is a very good grappler. He is. His scrambles, his transitions, the way he snatches submissions is quick. He is a very good grappler. But make no mistake about it, this guy wants nothing to do with the striking with Danny Barlow. And it's just going to be fun. I mean, when you see two vastly different styles, it's fun. Is the striker going to win? Is the grappler going to win? I'm going to say Danny Barlow knocks him the fuck out, and I would love to see it. But hey, Sam Patterson's going to shoot right away, and if he gets it down, it'll be it'll be interesting. So we'll see how it plays out. I'll take the striker and Danny Barlow, but if Patterson gets him down, a tap's not out of the question. Bet365 right now has zero props showing. I mean, I don't think like I know I'm always a guy finish. I bet the finishes. A Train's the opposite. He likes to play the overs and the decisions. I cannot see this fight going over. Like I think this is a quick knockout or a quick submission. I don't think there's any world where one survives on the feet for 2 rounds, like in Sam Patterson, or Danny Barlow survives 2 rounds on the ground in the grappling realm. So I think it's a fun fight. I think it's a fun fight. Sam Patterson submission, if that number is huge, might sprinkle it. Danny Barlow knockout, like those are the two props. Danny Barlow knockout, Sam Patterson submission. I'm on the knockout side. What do you think?
I don't think Sam Patterson gets him down. Danny Barlow has shown good takedown defense in his 3 UFC fights. Danny Barlow has shown good takedown defense in general on all tape that I've seen. And he has pretty decent reverse wrestling. And like you said, when it comes to the striking, you got the guy that's called Left Hand from God, and there's Sam Patterson, right? So honestly, This guy got flatlined by Yanel Ashmove. Ashmove proved to be not that great. That aged as an absolutely shitty loss for Sam Patterson. Now you say he submitted Leon Lioness. Well, was Leon Lioness seemed to be winning that fight until he wasn't winning that fight, to be honest with you. And then he beat Kiefer Sutherland or whatever his damn name is. Kiefer Crosby, Sidney Crosby's like long lost brother. I don't know, but he beat that guy, and I don't care. That guy stinks. All right. So Sam Patterson to me is not good. His striking is not good. He wants to stand with Danny Barlow for any amount of time. It's not good. And these wrestling exchanges aren't pushed by Sam Patterson. So Danny Barlow is going to knock him out. Danny Barlow is probably going to knock him out in under a round and a half. And I don't think Sam Patterson gets Danny Barlow onto the ground because I don't rate his wrestling any good. So I don't really need to do a long breakdown on that fight.
I like it. I like it. Next fight of the night, we got William Gomes, 14-2, taking on Hyder Amil or Hamill, 10-0. Gomes coming in William Gomes minus 200, Hyder plus 170. I don't know if it's Gomes or Gomez. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I find the guy boring. He likes to be on his bicycle, likes to kind of use his length and run backwards, pepper you, and all the power to him. It's working, obviously. And Hyder, I'm not too familiar with, to be honest. I thought I knew everybody on this guy. I do know him. I've watched a couple fights, but I'm not sure enough that he's going to be able to beat the decisionator in William Gomi or Gomez. So my gut reaction is saying William by decision. But I'm going to be rooting for Hyder here just because I'm kind of sick of watching this point fighting bicycle fucking use your I don't know whatever. I'm rooting for Hyder. My head is initially saying William decision. Again, I don't like steering people the wrong way. I got to go back and watch some more Hyder fights, but that's what my gut is saying. What do you think?
I think William Gomes boring as hell. To
Right?
be honest with you, like, and I don't mind decision fighters, but this guy doesn't like his decisions are just like I lose part of my life decisions sort of things, right? There's nothing great about his striking, but it's good. There's nothing great about his wrestling, but it's good. And there's nothing great about his ground game. Nothing stands out, but it's very good. Don't get me wrong, right? Doesn't have to use his ground game as often in the last few fights. God awful watched that Joe Anderson Brito fight over again, and I just don't understand how he won the Joe Anderson Brito fight in his last fight. Like, that lost me a big ticket, and I looked at that fight, and I still like, and I couldn't even. I'm like, oh my God, he got taken down three times. Striking was pretty much the same. I don't know how he won that, how he lost that fight. And there's a couple other ones. That fight against who was it? Francis Marshall, who didn't turn out to be amazing, he let that fight stay too close. And he only have fucking landed Francis Marshall 27-15. And
All of
he
his
only got
fights look the same. They're all fucking close, boring decisions.
okay, so here's one of the differences. He's more skilled than Hader for sure. Because he's all more well-rounded. Hader showed me in his Dana White Contender Series fight that he has a propensity to be taken down, right? He got taken down five times, but still won a unanimous decision somehow. I like looked at that and I was like, oh, that was weird. He got up though. He's got up. He's got get up game. He's got get up game. So Hater's gonna push this fucking pace. It's how far and how close he can get to Gomi. If Gomi's able to stand on his bike, tire this guy out, and just win a boring decision, that's it. If Hater can get into the pocket and knock him the fuck out, he has no problem eating one to throw five. Like he'll go and take one to the fucking face, but he'll dish out another five.
But
So if
If Brito couldn't do it, can this guy do it?
but Brito doesn't do the same thing though as this guy because this guy, so he'll just go, but Brito does go, but Brito also tires out. But I haven't seen and I haven't seen Hater tire out, but he also doesn't throw that sort of volume that Brito does. So it's tough. He's got to catch Gomes. So if he's able to cut off the cage and fucking get him to a corner and go on him, knock him the fuck out. Anyway, I can't. I'm going to bet on Hater. I'm going to take Hater. I'm going to take a shot, Hater knockout, and screw
Knockout.
Gomez. Screw him. I don't care. He's the better fighter, but I just can't do it. People don't take these picks. This fight night is kind of hard to bet on. right? I'd like to pick one dog a fucking card, and this is my guy. Hater's been my guy. He won me money, a lot of money last time. I'm gonna stick with him because just I can't just do the Gomi thing because he pissed me off when they handed him that fucking Joe Anderson Brito fight. Yo, buddy, that was a 10 out of 10. I would have got 10 out of 10 on that one. He fucking screwed me out of like 2 grand.
All right. Featured fight of the night. We've got Nasrat Haqoarast, 17-5, taking on Esteban Ribovics, 14-1. The odds are way too wide here, in my opinion. We got Haqoarast coming in at plus 225, which I think is kind of weird here, versus Esteban minus 275. Now, I know Esteban beat Daniel Zellhuber, who had a lot of hype behind him, but that was a wild fight. That was back and forth. Terrence McKinney, I don't put much stock in that because Terrence McKinney is chinny as fuck, so I don't put that much stock into it. Um, I think that this is going to be a striking match. I think that they are both too tough for their own good. Like I think they can both take a punch. So I think all the overs are live. I think a close decision is live. I think either fighter by decision is live. And if a fight is going the distance or going to be a close fight, I find myself wanting to bet the dog. I know nobody likes him. He had a bad last performance. I get it. Having a fight that you kind of got gifted against Jared Gordon or Gooden, whatever. Yeah, he didn't look good in that fight. I get it. He's not the most consistent fighter, Nasrat, but at his best, he does have good hands. And Esteban does get hit a lot. Like for as good as he does get hit a lot. Like if Nazareth shows up at his best, I can see him pulling the upset. If he doesn't, I can see him getting beat up for a couple, like losing a decision. Like I think at worst, like I don't know. I think it's a decision, and I think Nazareth at his best can pull this off. Like I think the odds are super wide. If it was a pick 'em fight, I'm on Esteban. At these odds, I find myself dog or pass personally. What do you think?
I think not Zellhuber. I think Ribovics probably is the hits harder than Haqparast, to be honest with you. I also think if anyone's going to take someone down, it's going to be Ribovics taking down Haqparast. I just like his style. I like how his grit. I like how he goes for it. Nazarad fucking stands back and waits too long sometimes and just doesn't throw enough for my liking. I mean, he threw 146 in the last one, but he gave up 141 at the same time. So, I mean, they both mirrored each other in the last fights because like I think that one was against Zellhuber. Ribovics threw like
Like
156
a lot of
and
damage there too.
yeah, and 121. But Hackbrass doesn't show damage well either, right? So I don't know. I think it's a little bit of Hackbrass over the last little bit of the year has been changing into that guard position of certain rankings, and I think Ribovics, this is his first step up, and I like him here. I don't like the odds, but I like Ribovics. I think he's the cleaner striker. I think he has more power, and I think he has more ways to win. And I always try to pick the guy that has more ways to win. So I like Ribovics here. I don't like the odds, but I like Ribovics.
All right. And that takes us to our co-main event of the evening, a very, very strange one, in my opinion. We've got we've got Cody Brundage, 10-6, best known for his performance, I guess, against Bo Nickel. I mean, what's this guy really best known for? Versus Julian Marquez. Very, very strange co-main event. Um, Brundage coming in at plus 110 underdog, Marquez minus 130. So it's a pick 'em fight. It's a pick 'em fight. Marquez is more comfortable on the feet. He's going to be more comfortable throwing hands. And Cody Brundage is a wrestler. He's a grappler, not the best IQ. So inconsistent. Sometimes he looks good. Sometimes he looks absolutely horrendous. Looks for outs. I don't know. I don't know how you can really be a fan. I don't know. Strange. All I can say is fucking strange fight. Such a strange co-main event. I don't know why they get the co-main spot here. I'm gonna hope Julian Marquez knocks him out, but I don't have faith in Julian Marquez. I mean, who is this guy? I mean, to be honest, I thought he retired or he was done a couple fights ago. Like, and now he's fighting Cody Brundage. I don't know. Is Brundage just gonna take him down and pound him out, or is Brundage gonna shoot a half-ass takedown, not get it, and then turtle? Because Cody Brundage turtles. If Cody Brundage doesn't get the takedown, he turtles. That's what he does. He looks for outs. If he gets the takedown, he'll win the fight, I guess. If he doesn't get the takedown, he's going to turtle and just look to eat some shots and get out of there, get stopped and get paid and get out of there. I don't know. I just don't like the fight. I don't like the fight at all. Um, no strong feeling. Like, what are you thinking here?
I'm going Cody Brundage in this spot. To be quite, Marquez has looked like his fucking durability has gone straight to shits over the last little bit. Like, and if I give you one thing about Cody Brundage and his whiny ass, is that he always goes for it, right? Always, even in Bo Nickel, that Bo Nickel fight, he gave Bo Nickel a better fight than anybody thought Bo Nickel was gonna get from Cody Brundage. You know what I mean?
Because he had nothing to lose, though. You fight
Yeah,
for
but
like a
still, but like, oh, look at his other fights. Like, I don't know about the Alice Hand fight in the last one, but he's the same guy that slammed Zach Reese. That in itself is anything better than what Marquez has done in the last 3 years. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Barney should be able to get him down on the ground. To be honest with you, I think he should be able to. And Marquez has shown zero durability, and I just don't know. It's like fucking. It's like picking the dumber guy of the pack of dumb guys, right? Like at least Cody Brundage, I feel is the more well-rounded striker here. Sorry, well-rounded fighter here. Marquez might be the better striker overall, but it's not like Brundage kind of. At least he throws power and he throws power shots. Marquez is no Bo Nickel. Marquez isn't no Al Hassan. He's not going to use head movement. He's just so fucking stationary, man. Stationary, just ready to be hit. And his chin has not shown up in the last three fights, and I think it's just one of those downhill things for Julian Marquez. Like you said, I thought he retired. I didn't think he was going to come back. The last fight was really is brutal. It was a brutal knockout. 20 seconds in or some shit like that. If I don't remember. Then the one against Barrio, that one was like in later on in the fight, and then he got smashed before that. I can't remember who it was, but I know it was the last three fights. I looked at all three of them this morning before I looked at this. I'm like, well, at these odds, Cody Brundage has done a lot more in the last 3 years than this guy's done. So, and he has wrestling in his back pocket. So,
Yep,
I go Brundage.
yep. I hear that opinion for sure. All right, main event of the evening. We got Manel Kape, 20-7. A very dangerous striker at his best. I think he can champion material. Like he has all the tools. Very quick muscle twitch, whatever you want to say. Very, very fast fighter, very good striker, and very underrated grappler too. The guy actually does have submission skills. He does have a decent guard. Like he is a great fighter, except he can be extremely frustrating because it seems like every other fight, zero fucking volume. And he's taking on Azu Almabayev, who's going to be looking to wrestle him the whole fight long. Um, I'm scared that this might turn into 5 rounds of the most atrocious fight we've ever seen in our life because, like I said, every other fight, Manel Kape freezes, doesn't throw his hands, doesn't let them fly. And I'm just very scared what this could turn into because if this is him versus Makayev all over again, except for 5 rounds, like this has potential to be horrendous. I am hoping Manel Kape takes his fucking head off, but I don't think Azu Almabayev is somebody who's going to get knocked out easily. Like I think Azu is going to be the one pushing the pace. I think he's going to be looking to grapple fuck. Like I don't know, man. As much as I love Manel Kape, I think Manel Kape can beat Pantoja on any given night, and I'm a big Pantoja fan. I say this respectfully. I just think that Kape matches up well with him. They can have a fun fight, striking it out on the feet, whatever. Like I don't know. I'm more worried when he fights these one-dimensional wrestlers, and I'm scared he's gonna freeze. I'm scared it's just gonna get weird. My heart is with Manel Kape, but at these odds, I find myself tempted to bet Almabayev in a very fucking boring fight. What do you think?
I I think Manal Kape's the better striker. I think he's the more well-rounded guy aside from the wrestling. But really, aside like even Makayev wasn't able to take him down. Now that's where there lies in the difference. Three takedowns didn't really do much with him, but he was always worried about them. So he didn't throw the volume, right? When he's not really worried about the takedowns, he throws the volume. Against Dos Santos, he threw the volume. Against Silva, he threw the volume. Those other fights, he didn't throw the volume. Against Makayev, he didn't throw the volume. Against Dvorak, even though he won, he didn't throw the volume. Against Zhumagulov, even though he knocked him out, he still could have thrown more there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think he hits one more power, he hits more conviction. He is a way better striker, and if he can stay off the ground and not worry about the goddamn takedown, he's going to win this fight fairly easily. But it could,
If he lets his hands fly, he wins the fight. He's just such a mental case. Like he's so inconsistent.
but you're right though. You're
It's
right.
so frustrating to watch because he's such a fucking talented fighter, all the
Hmm.
talent in the world, but yet sometimes doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, you're right though. This could look just like the Makayev fight, right? This could look just like the Makayev. I mean, Almabayev is sort of just like Makayev, right? It's just a
I would
one-dimensional
say
wrestler.
he pushes a high pace himself, man. Like this kid will be coming to get those takedowns.
Well,
So
that's the thing, right? I give Cobb some credit in the sense that whenever the pace is pushed on him, he's willing to push the pace back on his opponent, right? It's when it's like a guy like Makayev is like hanging back. If Almabayev is going to push this pace on Cobb, I think it's a completely different fight because Cobb, when pushed, is a completely different fighter, right? Cobb, when at bay and standing at range and all that jazz, that's when he becomes complacent. That's when he becomes low volume, right? But if this guy Almabayev, I think it's a bad move to push the pace on Cop because he's that skilled, man. He's that skilled. Like he does get taken down, but he pops right back up. I haven't seen anyone really blanket at him aside from maybe that Pantoja fight that was his first fight in the UFC. He didn't,
that was a leg kicking display. He just lost by
yeah,
leg.
he got taken down a couple times. He didn't get blanketed though. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I think he's got all the tools to win this. I think the short notice for Almabayev works not in his favor. I've seen him sort of slow down, but if he wants to push the pace against Manal Cop, he may not have 5 rounds of cardio. Who knows? Because I mean, that's not that easy. Hard enough for me to make 2 runs on a pickup basketball court to do 5 fucking rounds in the UFC. So I don't know, bud.
I'm rooting for Manel big time.
Me too.
I don't like the matchup. I think the UFC dropped the ball on the Manel Cup and Kai France beef because honestly, they should be fighting for number one contender, and they absolutely fucking hate each other. So that would have made for a fantastic fight. But
Especially
whatever.
after Kai knocked out what's his name? It was
First
Steve
egg.
Carell, yeah. So after he
Corral,
knocked him out, it was the fight to make, to be honest with you.
100%. They dropped the
It's
ball on that.
give Kai Fence his next last chance at getting to the title picture and give Manel Cop back that guy right before getting to the title picture.
Yep.
But whatever.
Yep, that's what we got. What we got. All right, guys, there you got it. Drop us a comment, your favorite underdog, your favorite prop, anything you agree with or disagree with. We'll get back to you. We love hearing from you guys, and may we all win Saturday night. Talk soon. Have a good one.